If the VIN on the title doesn't match the frame, walk away. 5 seconds, thousands saved. Now, let's look at the rest of the bike. Fast, simple, and completely in your hands. In 30 to 45 minutes, with basic tools, you'll spot deal breakers, find price droppers, and confirm green lights before any money leaves your wallet. Miss 2 of these checks, and you could be staring at $1,200 in parts. Nail them, and you'll negotiate like a boss. Today, you'll learn a driveway-friendly inspection you can do in about 30 to 45 minutes with basic tools. The goal is simple: spot the deal breakers, find the price droppers, and confirm the green lights before money leaves your wallet. We're going to move in a smart order. First, the paperwork and VIN, because if that doesn't check out, nothing else matters. Then a true cold start to hear the engine's secrets. After that, we'll run through fluids and leaks, peek inside the tank and fuel system, and check the drivetrain. From there, we'll feel out the controls, take a hard look at the chassis and suspension, and inspect the wheels, tires, and brakes. A couple of quick electrical checks, then a focused test ride, and finally, we'll separate the true walkaway red flags from the simple negotiation points. Ready to ride? Cool, let's go. Number 1 on the checklist, and a place anyone purchasing a ride should start: the paperwork and VIN. Start where scammers hate it most: the documents. Ask for the title and the seller's ID, and make sure the names match. No selling for a friend stories. Scan the title for brands and liens. Salvage, rebuilt, lemon, or anything that means the bike was significantly damaged or still has a bank attached to it. Then match the VIN on the frame to the VIN on the title and take your time. You're looking for tamper marks, scratched or replaced rivets, odd fonts, or stickers hiding a plate. Any of that is trouble. Peek at service history next. Random receipts are fine as long as dates and mileages make sense. And ask about keys. 2 keys or fobs is normal. 1 key isn't a crime, but it's negotiation leverage. Bottom line, if anything feels off here, it is off. There are plenty of bikes for sale. Be willing to walk. Second on the checklist is to do a true cold start. Now, you want to hear the bike talk to you a bit and tell its true story. Ask the seller not to warm it up before you arrive to take a look, and put your hand on the engine or headers. If it's toasty, the seller might be hiding something. On the first fire, listen carefully. A rattle or clatter that fades can point to a cam chain tensioner waking up. Note it. Clatter that stays is a deeper problem. Watch the exhaust. Blue smoke means it's burning oil. Sweet white vapor points to coolant, and black smoke signals a rich fuel mix. Then watch the idle. A healthy bike settles quickly and holds steady. If the idle chases around, stalls, or the revs hang on decel, that could potentially be work for you after you purchase. A bike that's honest cold is usually honest all around. Number 3, check the fluids and for any leaks. Bikes typically tell on themselves with their fluids. Check the oil in the sight glass or on the dipstick. Golden to tea-colored is fine. A milkshake look means coolant is getting into oil, and glitter is a hard nope. Look at the brake fluid in the reservoir. Clear to light amber is normal. Dark syrup says neglected maintenance. Check the coolant level in the overflow, and you want bright fluid, not rusty sludge. Now duck down and scan the underbelly. Cases, drain plug, and filter seam should be dry. Look at the kickstand pad area and belly pan for dried drip patterns. Oddly enough, no fluids anywhere can be assigned to. Some sellers drain things before a sale, which screams neglect. You want clean, topped fluids, not missing ones. On to number 4, the tank and fuel system. Open the gas cap and let your nose go to work. Old varnish smell means the bike sat a long time. Shine a small flashlight inside. Light rust freckles are a warning. But flaking or heavy rust means walk away or budget for a tank rehab and full fuel system cleaning. Trace the fuel lines and intake boots with your eyes and fingers. Cracked lines in dried carb boots lead to vacuum leaks and tuning headaches. Pay attention to idle quality and the very first crack of the throttle. Rough idle and hesitation suggest injectors or carbs are out of balance or gummed up. Clean fuel system equals clean running equals fewer surprises later. Number 5 is the drivetrain, chain, belt, or shaft. Power delivery tells you how the whole bike's been treated. For chains, check slack against the swing arm sticker and feel for stiff links. Orange rust, seized sections, or shiny knifed sprocket teeth mean chain and sprockets are due. For belts, look along the edges. Fraying or cracks means replacement time. For shaft drives, inspect for gear oil leaks at the final drive and the swing arm boot. And during the ride, you'll feel for the hard lash or clunks as you go on and off throttle. Worn drivetrains aren't a sin, they're a discount. Catastrophic wear plus clear neglect, that's a walk. For item number 6 on the checklist, controls and cables. Now, touch everything the rider touches. Roll the throttle open and let it go. It should snap back cleanly. A lazy return hints at cable issues or bad routing. Squeeze the clutch. You want a smooth pull and a clear engagement point. Out on the road, if you roll on in a taller gear and the revs surge without speed, that's clutch slip. Hit all the switch gear one by one. Kill switch, starter, turn signals, horn, high-low beam, each either works or it doesn't. Glance at levers and pegs for bends or rash. Paired with scuffed bar ends, they hint at tip-overs. Not necessarily a deal breaker if the bike tracks straight, but definitely pricing ammo. Quick checkpoint. If you've seen any red flags so far, maybe start planning your exit price. Or your exit altogether. The following checks can confirm it. Number 7 is on to the chassis and suspension. Here's the expensive stuff, so make sure to be picky. Run a finger around the fork inner tubes after compressing them. An oily ring means a leaking seal. Look for chrome pitting in the seal travel area. It'll chew new seals. Check the shock shaft and body. A wet shaft or dust-caked on oily residue says it's leaking. Now, feel the steering head bearings. Hold the front brake and rock the bike. If you feel a clunk, the bearings are likely notchy or loose. Stand behind the bike and sight down the wheels. The rear should track directly behind the front. During the test ride, the bars should sit straight. Scan the frame and subframe welds and gussets for cracks, paint disturbance, or fresh wrench marks around alignment points. Freshly painted covers, mismatched plastics, a brand new bar end on just one side, or missing reflectors aren't crimes, but they're clues. Good suspension and a straight chassis make a used bike feel new, whereas bad geometry makes it feel haunted. Next stop, number 8. Wheels, tires, and brakes. Let's talk rolling and stopping. Start with the tire age. The DOT date code is 4 digits, week and year. So 1219 means week 12 of 2019. Old tires get hard and slippery even if the tread looks fine. Check tread depth. Look for flat spots from highway commuting, and inspect for cracks at the bead. Spin each wheel and watch the rim edge for hops or side-to-side wobbles. On spoked wheels, pluck a few spokes and feel for consistent tension. Scan the brake rotors for bluing, heat spots, deep lips, or worst, cracks. Peek into the calipers for pad thickness. You want meat there. Metal on metal squeal isn't a discount, it's a rotor bill. Finally, check wheel bearings by grabbing the tire at 12 and 6, then 3 and 9. Any play or gritty growl when spinning means bearings are due. Tires and pads make easy negotiation. Bent wheels and cooked rotors do not. For the 9th checklist item, we'll check the quick electricals. Gremlins love the easy stuff, so knock this out. Test every light: headlight, high and low, both turn signals, both brake light switches, lever and pedal, and the plate light. If the dash shows voltage, glance at it at idle and again around 4 to 5K RPM. You should see an increase as the charging system wakes up. No meter, watch for lights slightly dim at idle and brightening with revs. Basic, but telling. Check the dash for warning lights or stored codes. Ask about battery age. A weak battery can hide a bigger charging issue, so make a note. Electrical problems scale fast. Know what you're inheriting. Now it's time for number 10, the smart test ride. Only ride if you're licensed and insured, and the seller's cool with it. Go out with a purpose. In third gear around 4 to 5K RPM, snap the throttle open. If revs flare without speed, the clutch is slipping. Pay attention to shifts up and down. False neutrals or a mushy second gear can point to worn dogs or shift forks. Relax your grip in a straight line. The bike should track neutral, with no pull or wobble. Do a firm stop from about 20 to 30 miles per hour. You want a solid lever feel and no rotor pulsing. Hit a few bumps to check the suspension, top out clanks, pogoing, or harsh spikes mean service is due. Listen to engine behavior across the range. Hesitation off idle, surging at cruise, or dead spots at higher RPM hint at tuning or fuel issues. In traffic or a slower section, confirm the cooling fan kicks on. The temp stabilizes and the bike doesn't throw a heat tantrum. Back at the spot, park on clean pavement and look immediately for fresh strips. New leaks tell the truth. 11th item is some walk-away red flags versus negotiation points. Here's how you decide. Walk-away items are non-negotiable. A VIN or title that doesn't match or shows tampering. No title in a title state or a lien the seller can't clear. Milky oil or persistent sweet white smoke that screams coolant and oil cross-contamination. Loud bottom-end knocks. A gearbox that grinds. A clearly dead charging system. A bent frame or subframe, or obvious structural weld cracks. And a tank full of heavy rust paired with running issues that guarantee a full rehab. Negotiation points are normal wear and tear. Tires older than about 5 to 6 years or visibly worn. A chain and sprockets past their prime. Leaky fork seals or a tired shock. Brake pads getting thin and rotors showing a minor lip but still serviceable. A little seepage at a cover gasket. An aging battery. A missing second key, a rashed lever or bar end, and overdue basics like coolant and brake fluid flush, air filter, and plugs. You're not hunting for perfect, you're pricing honestly. Now, let's talk about what you should bring when negotiating. Keep your kit simple and confidence building. A small flashlight lets you see what sellers hope you won't. A paper towel or cloth helps you check for fresh fluid and wipe fork legs. Bring a 10 to 12 millimeter wrench and, if needed, an adjustable or the right socket for axle nut checks. A tire gauge tells you if pressures are in the ballpark. Your phone, loaded with a VIN check app or just notes, keeps you organized. And if the seller allows it, a portable multimeter is a tiny tool that can save you from a big charging system surprise. You don't need a shop, just a system. A short bonus item on the checklist: how to talk money, calm and simple. Negotiation is easier when the bike did the talking first. Start by complimenting what's good. Then list what's needed in plain language. Give your numbers and pause. For example, love the way it runs. It needs tires, chain, and sprockets, and a fork service. That's about X dollars in parts alone. I'm at X cash today. Then let the silence work. You're not playing hardball, you're being fair, with receipts in your head. So here's a quick 10-point flow recap. You can write down and bring with you paperwork and VIN, a true cold start, fluids and leaks, tank and fuel system, drivetrain, controls and cables, chassis and suspension, wheels, tires and brakes, electrical checks, and the smart test ride. After going through these points, you can decide: walk, negotiate, or buy. If you enjoyed this rundown and it helped simplify the order of things to check when purchasing a motorcycle, save it for your next bike so you've got the checklist in your pocket. Also, tap like so more riders find this, and subscribe to stay up to date on more motorcycle information. Tell me in the comments, what's the worst used bike surprise you've seen? And if you want a deeper dive on riding smarter once you buy, watch the unspoken motorcycle rules you should be following next. This is Motorcycle Vault. Ride safe, buy smart, and I'll see you on the next one.